Don't tell me what to do. I told you to do in the countdown with the 2 and the 1. No, say 2 and 1. You said 2. Come on. Oh, baby! Check it out now. Welcome back to the perpendicular mouth. Violating their holes will be all about. If I can show you motherfuckers what we talking about, so sit back and just relax and relax the clock. Never kidding on the mic, yeah, we do that too. If you got an old show, then I thought you knew. We don't like some other Zach, and we did all I do. So sit back and take the brew while we do what we do. Welcome into the perpendicular mouths. We're back. We're violating ear holes and defecating on the microphone. My name is Zach. The man to my left or right, his name is Realize. Whoa. Thank you. We go soft so you can keep it hard. Wait, no, we go hard so you can keep it soft. And so, it soft. Like a Velveteen Rabbit. See, I can't even hear you, man. You wanted this music loud. I can't even hear it.
Well, the music loud is good. I'm just saying. I'm not going to give it to you soft unless I've been drinking.
Yeah, don't tell your wife that. We go hard. So right. Realize can keep it soft and silky like a Velveteen Rabbit for the missus.
If I've been drinking.
Welcome into the program. We have a fantastic show. It's been so long since we've been on, and it's not my fault this time.
No.
Somebody here didn't feel right about their appearance. And somebody's very vain. But then the other person had surgery, and so that's what happened.
Yeah, and see, here's the thing. I had to defend a troop of Girl Scouts in the forest from a bear attack, and it broke my jaw and a few ribs. So I was not able to do the show for a while because I was recuperating from that battle. But you should have seen the bear.
Those Girl Scouts beat your ass. That much is for sure. But we're happy to be back with our Facebook group and the Facebook audience. Hello.
Hello, perps.
Today we have a fantastic show. It's mostly your mom, let's be honest. Hi, Mom. And today we have a fantastic show. We're picking up where we left off the last time. What did we do last time? We did stand-up comedians.
Stand-up comedians, and it was the very first time. It was the first time the perps actually decided the outcome.
We had a tie. We couldn't figure it out. It was a lot of fun, and it came down to George Carlin versus, I almost said Richard Petty. Richard Pryor.
Wasn't Richard Petty.
No. Richard Petty is not very funny. Very fast, not very funny. Richard Pryor versus George Carlin. We couldn't figure it out. I had George Carlin. You had Richard Pryor. And, how do you decide between legends? You take it to the perps. Okay. We took it to the perps. We have a decision. Do you want to reveal the decision?
Yeah, and by a score of either 150 to 130 or 15 to 13, George
or 1.5 to 1.3.
Right, George Carlin won as the greatest comedian of all time, decided by you, the perps.
Hashtag white privilege. So thank you to everybody, all 28, 280, or 2.8 people that voted in the poll. You're on the page. That's great. We appreciate that. So, hey.
Facebook.com/the perpendicular mouths. Check us out. That's where we go live, and you can interact with the show.
And congratulations to George Carlin. We're sending him the winner's basket. And that should arrive in 2 to 4 weeks. It's being sent UPS ground. So
some cherries, berries, and what is it called? An edible arrangement to his grave.
Yeah, his grave.
Yeah, he's dead.
Oh. Well, why are we sending him shit?
Because fruit and chocolate are delicious. What the hell?
Yeah, fair enough. All right. Well, congratulations to George Carlin for the last show. And now, since everybody's been waiting so long, why don't we get into this show? And with stand-up comedians, that was great. So we said, hey, we like funny stuff. Why don't we do the greatest sketch comedy shows of all time?
The greatest sketch comedy shows of all time.
As said by the old prospector to my right and or left. And before we get into the top 10 or 11 or 12 or however many we're doing, why don't you tell them who did not make the list?
Okay, so first
people are going to be angry.
What? Do what really angry?
People are going to get angry for all these people that did not make the list, all these shows.
Sure, let them. Well, okay, first off, we got Key and Peele. Now, Key and Peele to me was always kind of just a knockoff. They're trying to fill their minority quota after Chappelle left Comedy Central. And Key and Peele to me weren't quite the business. They're all right.
They had some pretty epic sketches, so I would vehemently disagree with that. That's okay.
They got Aaron, but it's not.
Oh yeah, the names, yeah.
Right.
Jay Quellen. Jay Quellen.
Yeah. We got the Tracy Ullman Show, which, as a lot of people know, was the birthplace of The Simpsons. A lot of the people that voiced the Simpsons characters got their start on the Tracy Ullman Show. Tracy Ullman herself, hilarious. She might be in the top 10 sketch performers. Would you call her? It's just sketchy. She's sketchy, man.
Maybe.
Someone's saying they need the goat, man. Is someone? Oh, the goat man? Are you talking about me? Or are you talking about my face? Because
the goat man. Oh, you're the goat man.
I don't know if they're hating on my creeper stash. Let me tell you some of this caterpillar right here, okay? I busted my jaw and I couldn't go to work. So you know what a grown man does when he doesn't go to work? He grows a creepy ass mustache because there's no reason mustaches just before firemen, the gays, and the 1970s, okay? It can also be for creepy Costa Rican dudes who hang out at home.
All of that is untrue, but okay, go on.
And I don't even know they're talking about my goatee, but I'm just putting all that out there, all right? What else we got? We got the Kroll Show. The Kroll Show, man.
Funny stuff.
I don't know about the Kroll Show.
It's funny, but not great. Funny stuff, but not great.
Have you seen that cartoon he's got on Netflix now, Big Mouth?
No, not yet. I like Nick Kroll. I haven't watched that yet.
It's all right. What else didn't make the cut? The Whitest Kids You Know. I don't even know this show. Do you watch that? The Whitest Kids You Know?
Neither do I. Who put it on the list?
I mean, it was a sketch comedy show. I want to see these are like Odenkirk's writers.
Did you Google it or something? Is that what happened?
Yeah, of course it did. So
Odenkirk's writers were they did Bob and Dave. That was
no. You're thinking of no, is it David Tell? No, not David Tell. What's
David Cross?
Thank you.
David Cross and Bob Odenkirk. Yeah.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah. But no. These might have been his writers, like in his writer room or something. These are a bunch of kids who are trying to promote the Whitest Kids You Know, and it just didn't take off, man.
All right.
Okay. Comedy Bang Bang.
There's a writer from Mr. Show. Scott Aukerman wrote for Mr. Show.
Aukerman started Earwolf, the podcast network, and he directs Between Two Ferns, Zach Realize show. Aukerman, man, he's a beast, but Comedy Bang Bang did not make the cut as one of the greatest. That might be a travesty, dude. Okay?
It's not really a sketch comedy show, if you want to be technical about it. But look, it's one of my favorite shows. When it was on TV, I still listen to podcasts. It was one of my favorites when I was on
TV. Why would you say it's not a sketch comedy show? Is it because he's doing a faux talk show?
They have, it's more of a mishmash of. It's just a funny show. Sketch comedy. You think of there's a bunch of sketches that create a show.
And I would disagree.
It had sketches in it, but it was a lot more improv.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Well, that's what makes sketch to me. When I think there's either scripted comedy and then there's improv, and when I think improv, that makes sketch to me. They have a premise, and then they come up with whatever. I don't know. Oh, someone's about to get pissed off right now because they just mentioned hands down a show that did not make the cut that you had just mentioned. Now it's up to you if you want to throw it into the mix. Someone brought up the Carol Burnett show.
We'll discuss the Carol Burnett show when you get to the Also Rants.
Well, I'm talking about the Also Rants.
I know when you're done with those, because Carol Burnett show's in a special category.
Do we think we should maybe put it in the list?
Do we want to discuss? No. We got to discuss it right now because here's the thing: we're both too young for the Carol Burnett show. I understand the Carol Burnett show was probably could be the greatest sketch comedy show of all time. How many episodes have you seen?
None. I'm fucking and I'm middle aged and I've never seen any.
I mean, if you want to go back, why don't we go to Sid Caesar Your Show of Shows? I mean, we just don't know those shows. So what we have on this list is, we'll say, modern era since the Carol Burnett show.
I don't even know if it's modern era, dude. SNL's been around since the 70s, and they're
yeah,
on the
but I mean, we have to judge SNL for not its whole run per se, because it's had ups and downs. You have to judge the bad with the good. It's had some bad, lean years, and it's had some really good years. So, you know, we'll discuss that when we get there. But the Carol Burnett show, it didn't make the list because we just don't know it well enough to discuss it. So this is sketch comedy since Carol Burnett.
Boom. So if you got a problem with that, write your congressman. Who else didn't make the what?
I said, I don't give a shit.
Okay. Benny Hill. But I'll do this for you. That's the best part of that show. So now that we did that, the rest of it was just like, you know, busty chicks running around and Benny Hill in a funny hat and like racism. So, you know,
I'll be honest, busty chicks running around sounds like a pretty good part of the show.
Yeah, but the racism part cancels it out. So it didn't make the cut.
Do you know the name of that song? I know the name. It's a fun song.
Chicken Dinner?
Yakety Sax.
Yakety Sax. I was close. Portlandia did not make the cut. I love Portlandia. I
really enjoy. Yeah, I enjoy it too.
What's the guy's name? Fred Armisen.
Fred Armisen. Yeah, Fred Armisen. Very funny. It's a very funny show. And that kind of blurs the lines of sketch comedy because it's, you know, it's kind of sketchy, but it's not. It's a bit, you know.
But
it has a linear plot line each show, that kind of thing. So, you know.
Okay, we gotta settle this right now before we go any further, because once we get into the list, what defines a sketch comedy show?
A show that is comprised primarily, I would say, principally of sketches and not improv, not, you know, linear plot, not, you know, first, second, and third act type drama. It's you know, it's sketches. It's, you know,
short form. You're saying not long
short form sketch comedy.
Okay. So, and what I think makes a sketch comedy show is improv primarily. You know,
that's an improv show. That's not sketch comedy. Those are two separate things. There's improv and there's sketch.
No, they don't put shows classified as improv shows on TV. That's not a sitcom classification where it's like, this is because Larry David, what's his show? Curb Your Enthusiasm. That show is primarily improv, and it's not classified as an improv show. No one would say that. No one is going to be able to sell their show on the basis of, hey, me and these funny guys, we're just going to go make shit up. Like even Saturday Night Live, it's not improv, but they're kind of on the fly. It's not really scripted, is it?
Yes, it's 100% scripted. Yeah, and that's the point. Sketch is scripted. Sketch has writers that write a sketch, and the actors act it out. Improv is improvisers that are leading the action. Whether it's Curb Your Enthusiasm has, you know, a basic plot line that they follow, and then they improvise within it. You know, whereas sketch is like SNL, for example, is, you know, you have a 2-minute sketch that was written by writers, and they come in and they act the lines. And that's it.
Well, okay, fine. I can agree with everything except 2-minute sketch, because SNL is actually like 6-minute sketch of 2 minutes of good material and, you know, 5 minutes of fluff with 1 minute of them just, you know, breaking and laughing at each other.
Sounds about right.
Okay. All right. Well, I was wrong. All right. Oh, someone said short form and can include, but is not limited to improv. It is a sketch, a scene, a short story. You could consider Seinfeld scenes with Kramer's sketch because his scenes have a start, middle, without going away from the scene. Thank you, whoever knows how to utilize cut and paste off Google. Plot with people improvising. All right. Well, those are the also rants. You want to get into the proceedings?
Nope.
All right. Well, thank you, Perps. It was good to be back. We'll see you in a month.
All right, I'll get into it. Fine. Hang on. Let me pull up the list. All right, so that's everybody that didn't make the list. Now let's talk about those that did make the list. So since we have, I don't know how many we have, so let's just go right into it. We have a playing round this time. This playing round includes two sketch comedy troupes from the 90s. Two that, were maybe not super popular, but were very influential. We have the Kids in the Hall versus the Upright Citizens Brigade. And go.
Okay. I'll take Kids in the Hall. I'm Megan.
All right. That didn't play.
Kids in the Hall.
Oh, I thought that was it.
What the hell's happening here? Okay, Kids in the Hall.
I was going to play the horn. I thought you picked. Okay. Go ahead.
Oh, no. You know what? You go. I don't feel really confident talking about either of these. Do you know these shows well?
No, Kids in the Hall I wasn't like a huge fan of. It had its moments. It was a group of 6 people. Well, I can't even talk about it very long. Dude. It's pretty good. All white people. Yeah. All sketch comedy. All sketch comedy is all white people. That's all you need to know about all of that. Yeah.
That's not true.
Oh,
was it Canadian? Was it Canadian?
I don't remember. I don't know. Probably. I think it was. Yeah, I think Kids in the Hall was Canadian. Yeah, in fact, I think they were. They were okay. Upright Citizens Brigade was 4 people. Most popular is Amy Poehler. People know Amy Poehler. And then there's a few others that are also funny.
Amy Poehler actually runs the Upright Citizens Brigade Theater here in Hollywood, out here in LA. She runs the joint. So Upright Citizens Brigade, I think they have one in like New York somewhere, and they got one over here, and that is it. So they get a lot of their. The thing is this: they'll charge you. You have to pay to take their classes.
Improv, writing, all that stuff.
Yeah, but I heard a lot of like SNL people who do hiring for the shows go to those Upright Citizens Brigade theaters and try to pull talent right out of there.
Yeah, 100%. A lot of big names now actually came through UCB. Do comedy. A lot of big names currently in comedy. We talked
Conan O'Brien.
We talked about Scott Ackerman earlier. He was UCB. Conan O'Brien was not. Conan O'Brien was a Harvard-educated guy who wrote for The Simpsons, and that's where he came through.
All right, then fine.
Yeah, but a lot of big names that came through UCB.
I don't know.
Very good. But their show, their Upright Citizens Brigade, is okay. But very influential. I would say the current influence with their school is far more than their sketch comedy was back in the day.
Well, I think that should count, right?
Yeah, sure. Why not? All right. Upright Citizens Brigade wins just because we know more about them. How about that? This is how we do it on the Perpendicular Mouse.
That works, man.
Upright Citizens Brigade. I'm just going to read around this list here. Goes up against In Living Color.
Wow.
These are clearly in no particular order. So Upright Citizens Brigade versus In Living Color. Was In Living Color your favorite show when you were a kid?
I loved In Living Color. I can tell you that. Now, whether or not it was my favorite show, probably not, but it was hilarious.
If it wasn't your favorite show, who was your favorite Wayans?
DJ SW1. Probably Damon at the time, honestly. Damon played Homie the Clown. That was the big one I remember. I mean,
Damon
I know
had
him.
A huge career in the 90s, man.
Oh, yeah, dude. Him and David Allen Greer used to do the, what was the name of it? When they're the gay movie.
The movie, yeah. 3 Snaps Up in the Z Formation.
Yeah, dude. That was all good, man.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, I wonder, it makes me wonder if kids like saw In Living Color these days, if they would be offended by it. Probably.
Oh, 100%. Are you kidding me? 3 snaps and a twist.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do like gay voice and gay, it's not PC anymore. But also back then in the early 90s when they were doing that, people weren't out. So it was like a weird like side thing. Now it's normal. So it's not funny anyway. So
I mean, to me, it's not even someone brought up Fire Marshal Bill. Yeah, it's the birthplace of
Jim
what's
Carrey.
his name? Jim Carrey. You know, there's a lot. Did you ever see that movie I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker, before In Living Color came out?
I did. It's been a lot of years though. That was Keenan Ivory.
Yeah, dude, that's a good movie. That's
Keenan Ivory. Yeah, and then I mean they had a ton of funny people, man. Tommy Davidson came through there, David Alan Grier, Damon Wayans, and then the Wayans brother, the other Wayans brothers, Sean and Marlon. Jamie Foxx got his start on there. Jennifer Lopez got her start on there. She was one of the Fly Girls.
She was hilarious on that show. She was so funny. So funny.
Yeah, she was so dancey. But yeah, think about the people that got this: Jamie Foxx and Jim Carrey just alone, like two, huge future superstars. That's
dude,
what they got their start. It's
dude. Why are we even entertaining this?
We were no. Oh, hang on, wait. Oh, hang on, wait, hang on, wait, hang on. There you go. Yeah, look, hey, we were just reminiscing.
Yeah.
In Living Color. Yeah, In Living Color. Yeah, In Living Color was great, man. What was your favorite In Living Color sketch?
Man,
do you remember Wanda with Jamie Foxx?
Yeah, I love Wanda.
Oh yeah, Fire Marshal Bill.
That's not my favorite. What was my favorite?
Homie the Clown was one of my favorites.
No, he's hilarious. I remembered him.
I was a kid around. Yeah, we used to hit people with socks. Like you roll up the socks inside the socks, and you hit somebody. Say, I don't think so.
And you bop them. You bop them.
I don't play that. Yeah, I don't play that.
That's entertainment. That's entertainment right there. Wow.
100%. All right, In Living Color. It probably is just going to win this whole thing, not to give anything away, but yeah, we'll do that. Goes up against Inside Amy Schumer. Now, I remember this was like 2 months ago when we were talking about this, and you didn't want to put Amy Schumer in there because you hate women. Is that accurate?
Well, I love women with a passion, but my issue is I didn't really watch that show because I didn't find Amy Schumer that funny.
Because she's a woman.
It's not just because she's a woman. It's also that I just didn't have any appeal to me. Now, who are the other guys who are on that show? The big guy with the beard. What's his name? He's funny.
Big guy with a beard? I don't know.
The actor on her show. He's like a giant. He's really dry, like deadpan.
You're talking about Brian Posehn. I don't think he was an actor on the show. He basically was like her, and then she'd have other people in regulars. One of my former classmates was on there. That was cool to watch. But yeah, they had random people come in. But
give your former classmate a shout out.
I don't want to do that.
Why? Wouldn't he be or her be proud to have been on Inside Amy Schumer? You're calling one of the greatest comedians of all time.
Oh yeah, his name is Dave Hansen, and he was in a handful of sketches. He was also in her movie. I saw he was in the trailer. I remember. I did see the movie. The movie she did. What's the Amy Schumer movie? It had John Cena. Trainwreck. Thank you. Yeah, he was in that too, and that was cool. Yeah, it's cool to see him in there. So he's a comedian in New York, I think. So I had all that stuff, but yeah, that show. Let me make the case for this show because you hate the show because you hate women and you hate feminism. You clearly hate feminism and women. Let me just make a brief case for this show, knowing that it's not going to beat In Living Color. But let me make a brief case why I thought it should be included on the list. Because this show, first of all, is funny. It did a lot of different things too. Like with sketch comedies, it can be kind of stale and kind of the same thing, repetitive over and over and over again. With her, she did things a little bit differently. If you watch the show, they were a little different type of sketch. They were all, a lot of female oriented, feminists type, women empowerment type sketches. She played a lot off her, her own issues, like she talked about, people would tell her that, she's not hot or she's heavy set or whatever.
All true.
Whatever. It is what it is. You call it. Some people like it. Some people don't. It doesn't matter. Either way, it's funny. But she had probably one of the funniest sketches I've ever seen, and I think it was like a whole episode. It's like 12. It was a play on 12 Angry Jurors, and it was like a whole thing. And basically, the 12 jurors debated whether or not she was hot or not, and it was awesome. It was fantastic. I thought it should have won an Emmy for that, but anyway, she pushed the envelope in some good ways and some funny ways.
So it's worth checking out.
Watch the shows. What's that?
It's worth checking out. Like for me, I haven't seen it. I should check it out.
Yeah, if you're a fan, if you're a fan of funny, yeah, she's got some funny stuff. If you're not a fan of her, yeah, if you're not a fan, if you like Trainwreck, you'll probably like that show. If you don't like Amy Schumer, then probably not. So it is what it is. But
okay, so we should check it out, but no.
I'm knocking stuff over, but it's better than Living Color, yeah.
It's not better than Living Color.
No. We gotta ask. I mean, that's
hi,
what we do.
Saying hi to us. Hi, welcome. We're glad to be back. Thank you.
Hi, Felicia. Is that how that's used?
Yeah.
Hi, Felicia.
Yeah,
good to see you, Felicia. Have you watched Friday recently?
No, man. It's been like 20 years.
No, it was on it's on Netflix now. Go watch it. I watched it. I was going through and I watched the whole damn thing. It was great. And I still knew everything.
Well, I've seen Friday, I don't know, 30 times.
Yeah.
But not recently.
That's what I was just gonna say. I still know every line. But some people don't know that's where that came from. The By Felicia. It came from Friday. People don't know that.
That's true. Hold on really quick. Someone's asking, why is my mouth open? Did I get my wires cut? Yeah. Okay. For those of you who don't know, my jaw was broken. I said because I fought a bear. The truth is I had elective dental surgery. Way less sexy. But yeah, my mouth is no longer wired shut. But if you notice, I am still not talking totally normally yet because I have stitches in my mouth and cannot open my mouth all the way. And I cannot chew food for 6 more weeks to 2 months. Okay, back to the show.
There goes your social life.
Yeah, no more chewing.
Womp womp.
Okay, so what was
it? Amy Schumer. People should watch it, especially watch the 12 Angry Jurors thing. That was very funny. The next
someone said, "Someone bitch like you don't know me, dude." Whoever's yelling at me right now, the format that we are hosting from, it just says comment from Facebook user. I don't have any names, so if you want me to shout out your name, I'm gonna guess. This is Augusta, just because they called me a bitch, but I don't really know who's talking to me right now unless you put your name in it.
I don't know who you are. I'm just going to guess it's your mom.
Okay. All right. My mom would never call me a bitch to my face.
Everybody you know would call you a bitch to your face.
How dare you? I'm a very tall man. You may call me a bitch to my nipples.
But the moment you bend down, they call you a bitch.
That's a good joke. That's a good joke. All right, I'll take that.
Next on the list, one of my favorites, another early 90s, one of my favorites, The State. Did you watch The State when you were young?
No. Nope.
No? Mm-mm. Do you know The State?
The Deep State is a conspiracy where the government is actually being run by like a bunch of people that don't really want, anything to really change because it's a corporatocracy. And right now, Q is trying to help the Tea Party people, fight that through Trump. Is that what you're talking about?
No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the TV show the sketch comedy show from MTV from the early 90s that included big names like Thomas Lennon, like Michael Ian Black.
Oh, I know that guy.
Ken Marino, it was Cat. I always mess up her name. Kathy Kinney, from Reno 911, the funny girl. I forgot her name. Kathy Kinney.
Jingleheimer Schmidt. That's
exactly.
My name too.
Exactly, and many other funny people. It was pretty epic. You don't know it though.
No.
You're probably not. You're probably not going to get the sketch references. There was Louis. You know Louis?
Nope.
Come on, Louis. He's funny with the dipping in the balls. He says, "Hey, Louis, I got some tuna casserole right here. What do you want to do with it?" He said, "I want to dip my balls in it." No?
Okay.
No? Jesus at the Last Supper. He invites Louis, and he's like, come on, he's funny. No. All right. What about the two guys with 500 pounds of pudding? Oh yeah. Oh, we got 500 pounds of pudding. Oh yeah. No.
This is a thing. This is a thing.
All right. What about Doug? Because he's Doug. He's teenage and he's angsty. And he says, "I'm Doug. I don't have to take this. I'm out of here."
That I actually do know. That
There
I
you
know.
go. There you go.
I didn't know that I knew that from the state. I just know it from people going, "I'm out of here."
That's Doug. You don't have to take this. I'm Doug. Yeah, you don't know any of those?
I didn't know it from the state. I didn't watch the state. But I don't know. People say that, you and this user that might be Megan, former of Wilson fame at Whittier. Remember Megan?
Mm-hmm.
She's watching. Say hello. Mm-hmm. They say I think she's saying that either you two are the coolest or someone else.
No, I assume that whoever it is saying that two other people are the coolest.
I'll tell you what, we're very popular with Megans. With an H, though. Megans with H's in their names love us.
There are a lot of Megans in the world. We should do a 10 most Megans. No, because there's too many Megans. And also, Megan, like women don't have a lot of in history accomplishments.
Well, how do you feel?
Not our fault. We didn't do it.
How do you feel about Meg Han?
Like Han Solo?
Meg Han. It's Meg Hans. It's interesting. It's definitely something to think about.
On a totally different topic. You know what I realized was not in your also rans? I don't know if it's on our list or not, but I'm gonna have to check the list because there's two shows that came to my head when we were talking about the state that weren't on here, that were very short-lived, but should have at least been on the also rans. I don't know what you mean. It's the Ben Stiller show, which was very popular and very very influential. And also the Dana Carvey show that launched Stephen Colbert and Steve Carell and all those people.
Dude, that was the Daily Show. That was like the Daily Show. The Daily Show launched those guys.
No, not at all. No, before they were on the Daily Show, they were on the Dana Carvey show. It was on for 8 episodes, and it was epically funny. They had a lot of great stuff, but only 8 episodes.
So good. If it was so good, why didn't it make it?
Because it was too controversial. It was they put it on after Home Improvement, and so a bunch of conservative Midwest families were watching it. Then all of a sudden, gay Hitler comes on and tells them to suck their cock.
Oh, gay Hitler, always funny.
Just saying. That's why it didn't work. they pushed some envelopes. There's dude, if you get a chance, watch the Dana Carvey show. Ben Stiller show is also very. Anyways, those two are also around. I
got a lot of homework right now. I'm supposed to be watching Inside Amy Schumer.
Then you watch it.
The State.
Well, what are you doing here? Go watch it.
Huh?
What are you doing here? Go watch it.
I'm trying to do a show.
All right. After this show, then go watch it.
All right. So are we moving on yet or no?
Oh, do you want? You don't know The State, so that sucks. All right. In Living Color beats The State. That's that is what it is. All right. Here we go. Here's one you can talk about.
Okay.
In Living Color versus Chappelle Show.
Chappelle Show. Chappelle Show. Chappelle Show. Time to start the show. Okay. So let's talk about Chappelle Show. Hilarious.
Well, great analysis. Thank you.
Definitely pushed the envelope, He was doing whiteface. You didn't see that a lot beforehand. I guess white chicks. The Wayans brothers did white chicks. That's white-faced. But you don't see a lot of white.
I think the Wayans brothers just put on baking flour. I don't think it was this whiteface, but.
And he did and Chappelle did a different white voice, because I feel like when you see a lot of black people do white voice, they do it like they got a stick in their ass, and they do it like
the white voice. Chappelle has a good white voice. Him and Richard Pryor both had really good white voices.
It's different. It's more nuanced. It's a real white guy. Now, let me ask you, have you ever heard the term baloney neck? I've heard people say that white people smell of baloney in the back of the neck. Right here. Baloney necks. I don't know if that's from Chappelle's show or not, but I was running out of content. Let's talk about some other things now about Chappelle's show.
Please.
Well, if you like to smoke marijuana, that was a good show to watch because they went great.
He liked to smoke marijuana.
I'm telling you, they went together fantastic. Okay? So that's something.
It's like what 18-year-old Dave would tell 35-year-old Dave. He'd say, hey, smoke weed every day.
I'm gonna write that down. Fucking funny, man. How much analysis do I need? It's damn good.
Do you have a favorite sketch?
What?
Do you have a favorite? Are you asking me to repeat myself so you could buy some time to think of a sketch that you enjoy?
No, I was just reading a comment about it said, Lizer, my girlfriend is still upset that he called her torpedo tits when he came over to my parents' house. And the time I pantsed my girlfriend and you felt obligated to pants yourself.
This is what Megan was saying? This is what Megan was saying? When Megan, you what?
Yeah, this is all true. So what happened?
Don't call Megan's girlfriend torpedo tits. It's not very nice.
No. It was one of her maid of honor, and this was way before that. And the other girl, she pantsed her. We'd been drinking, and the girl had the biggest bush that I'd ever seen in my life. It was not, and I've seen some bushes in my day. Okay, but this shit was big.
This is like what's that movie with Dickie Roberts? No, not Dickie Roberts. What's with Nick Swardson, where he's like a little porn star. He's kind of
no idea.
Oh, all right. Anyways, go ahead.
No. So I'm just saying. So her friend had a big old bush, and because she got pants and she seemed embarrassed about it, I was like, well, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. So I pants myself with my fucking flaccid whiskey dick, just because, like, there you go. There's something you don't see every day.
Yeah, that seems like the wrong move, but you know.
I'm a grower, bro. what are you gonna do? So
I meant more that, probably fewer people wanted to see that than not.
Well, there are only 3 of us there.
Oh,
so
well,
okay.
Majority rules. Okay, I was under the impression this was like at a wedding.
No.
People, like when you're on stage at the dais, you know what I mean?
I probably shouldn't be telling this. Like, I feel like I get me too'd over. I said too much. I've said too much already.
It's the internet. Nobody's watching this.
Okay, good. This will all be gone after today, right?
I don't know. I don't use the internet.
Okay. Well, anyways, after that, I think.
Wait, is that where porn comes from? Okay, I do use the internet. I lied.
Yeah. I don't know. Madness.
I just wanted to throw some Me Too stuff in there too. Go ahead.
It was all consensual.
I'm glad you threw that in there.
That's how we end that story.
how all good stories end, but it was all consensual. The end. The way every story in 2019 starts is, we were having a few drinks, yada yada yada. It was all consensual. The end. All right. I think you've bought enough time. Do you have a favorite Chappelle Show sketch yet?
No. It was all good, man. I don't think there was any one thing where I'm like, oh, let me go back and watch that. Like, I just liked watching all of it. The thing is this: In Living Color had a diversity of cast, where Chappelle's Show, I think it only had 3 seasons. The 2 where he was really about it, and the 3rd, lost season that didn't come back for, I don't know, a while.
Mm-hmm.
That was funny. It was all good. But
Yeah,
you know,
he had,
and
he, had
Charlie
some
Murphy,
regular, he had some regular characters on there. He had Art Mooney and what's
Charlie Murphy.
Charlie Murphy. Yeah, you know, he had some regular people on there.
Dude, I love when Charlie Murphy was recalling his story about when they went to play basketball at Prince's house, and then Prince made him pancakes.
Oh, pancakes! Yeah, that's a good one.
We win shirts versus blouses.
Yeah, all of his other one was they had a couple. They had the fuck yo couch with Rick James, and they had the 5 finger say to the face slap. They had all of those. That was all the Rick James story.
Is Wayne Brady a motherfucker?
That was my favorite sketch, Wayne Brady, because I like Wayne Brady, and I got to meet Wayne Brady, and I got to perform Wayne Brady, and so I was a big fan. And then I saw him come out there and say, "Does Wayne Brady have to choke a bitch?" And oh my god, I died. I literally just couldn't.
Hey, the Megans are requesting that you show them your nipples.
I don't have any nipples.
You just have areolas. Men don't have nipples because we can't feed milk to our babies. All right, so that's insensitive of you to even imply that we should show our non-existent nipples.
I'm gonna show my dog instead. Hi, buddy.
Show your dog's butthole at least.
It's the best I can do. Nope. The dog's laying down. The butthole's on the other side, and that's really weird.
Okay. All right. Well, then what are you gonna do? If we lose you guys, whatever.
You can choose between In Living Color and what's the other one? Oh, Chappelle's Show.
It's tight, but to me, In Living Color has more of a lasting impact because of all the comedic actors that ended up having movie careers, like you mentioned earlier. My vote's In Living Color.
Dave Chappelle was in a movie, but he was in a movie before too.
He was in a couple movies.
Right. That's true. All right, Chappelle's Show is out. Now who's in is a show we talked about previously, Mr. Show with Bob and David.
Oh, Mr. Show. And then now
Bob Odenkirk and David.
Is it called the Mr. Show Show? Or just Mr. Show?
Mr. Show with Bob and Dave, I believe, is the title.
Well, I think with Bob and Dave is what they're calling their show on Netflix now, right?
Well, yeah, they did something with that. I don't know what it is, but yeah, I heard about it, but I haven't seen it. So, but yeah, I believe the original show is called Mr. Show with Bob and Dave.
Someone is just yelling Sophia at us. I don't know why. Sophia!
I believe it's supposed to be Stella. Stella.
You're dumb. You got it wrong.
Stella for Starlight. That's a Neil Simon reference. Nobody's going to get that. But you're welcome for the Neil Simon reference, everyone.
Yeah. Bob and David's good. You want to talk a little bit about them?
Bob Odenkirk, people know him from, well, now it's Better Call Saul, but previously it was Breaking Bad, right? He's been in some other stuff. David Cross has been in every other comedy movie that's ever been made. The first one that jumps out is the Scary Movie 2 when he was is it 3 or 4 when he was like the guy? I don't know. He's been in a bunch of stuff, man. He's always like the weenie guy, he's little guy with the glasses. Always very funny in everything he does.
You didn't describe what he did in the movie.
Their show was, I mean, it was funny. But there's nothing that was necessarily lasting about it. Like it was funny. It had some funny sketches, some sketches that weren't that funny. There's nothing. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Like, oh, I remember that. Like I wasn't a huge fan. I think I've seen a few episodes. About it.
Yeah, I don't know. They're good. I think they definitely had an impact and created a lot of stuff. Like they have a lot of really good content, but In Living Color is steamrolling to me, man. It's hard. It's hard to beat In Living Color.
Oh yeah, it looks. I just looked up. It looks like there's a few like bigger names that we haven't talked about yet, so they're coming out. All right, next one is MadTV.
Dang,
MadTV was well. You talk about Mad. You know MadTV, right?
What's someone to talk like this? Look what I can do. Look what I can do. Look what I can do. Look at this. Look what I can do.
Are you trying to do Stewart?
Look at this. Look at this. Look at me doing this. Look at me doing this.
Are you doing Stewart? Michael McDonald?
Look at me doing this.
Let me do it.
Look at this. Look what I can do.
Let me do it. Let me do it.
Let me do it. Let me do it. Yeah, I remember that guy.
Stewart.
Yeah,
Michael McDonald. Michael McDonald played Stewart. Michael McDonald? Is that the singer? Maybe they were both Michael McDonald.
Michael McDonald. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down.
That's Rick Astley, Holmes.
Never gonna turn around and desert you.
Are you trying to rickroll our entire audience?
What?
You trying to rickroll our entire audience?
Is that
all the Megans? Are you trying to rickroll all the Megans?
For so long, it's on there. So do I within him. Is that no?
That's Rick Astley.
You're Rick Astley. Yeah, the mom. Oh God, the mom. Stuart's mom. Wasn't she like Midwestern mom? Oh, come on, Stuart.
Stuart. Yeah. Maybe Wisconsin, Minnesota.
Yeah. That was the funny sketch. That is
Let me
good.
do it. They had more sketches than that.
Okay. What about well, what else? What do you remember?
What else? They had a lot.
Oh, I remember
one of my favorites was actually the one that popped into my head. It was like a random sketch, but it was really funny. Alex Borstein was in it, Nicole Sullivan, and I don't remember the third. But it was like a take on Charlie's Angels, but they were like working in a fast food restaurant. And it was like, like the two girls were like super like, oh, they're badass. They're like Charlie's Angels. And then the third one was Alex Borstein, who's like short and chubby. And so like it was like the girls would like jump over the counter and Alex Borstein would come up and like slowly roll over the counter.
Yeah.
And it was a funny sketch.
Alex Borstein's hilarious. The voice of Lois Griffin.
She's in The Talented Mrs. Maisel. She was nominated for an Emmy or a Golden Globe this year. So that's
no kidding.
Yeah, so good for her.
I'm
sure she's won a ton with Family Guy too, but
she's good.
Yeah, but her Nicole Sullivan was very funny. Michael McDonald, Will Sasso was on there. Who else was on there?
I don't know a lot of those names.
Really?
Like I don't know who's Mike's asshole.
What? Will Sasso?
Yeah, Will's asshole.
He's an actor.
Don't know him.
He's a big bald guy. You've seen him
for sure.
You've seen him.
I don't know. Someone's trying to get me to pick him up from the airport. Look, Rando, I'm not picking you up from the airport.
Why are you picking up Will Sasso at the airport? I didn't even know you know Will Sasso.
I don't know Will's asshole like that. I'm not picking anyone up from the airport. You can not ask me to help you move, damn it.
Hey, tell him I'll pick
need a ride to the carnival. I can't give anyone a ride to the carnival. God damn it.
All right. We can't. We don't. I don't think we know. MadTV is not going to beat In Living Color, man. No. This is the easiest episode we've ever done. Like we don't. There's no pretense to this one. Usually we're like, well, let's discuss this in detail because maybe this one could win. No, it's just stupid. I scared my dog and threw my phone.
Don't do that.
All right. Yeah. All right. We got three more. Two really big ones and one Canadian one that you're probably not going to know. And that was SCTV. Do you know SCTV?
I do remember SCTV. Rick Moranis, John Candy, the dad from American Pie.
Yeah, tons of Canadian funny people were on it. It was in the US, it was on after SNL for a long time. Like SNL would come on, and then when that was done, it would go to SCTV. But it was like the Canadian SNL, basically. But I didn't watch it a ton. Like I don't know. I know about it. I've seen some episodes, but
it used to be on after Saturday Night Live when I was a kid. So it'd be on at like
I just said that. Yeah.
2 a.m, right after. Dude, I was so tired and like probably way too young to be up that late anyways. I wasn't going to stay up for another hour watching Canadian Saturday Night Live.
And you were drunk as shit.
I was like 12. I was like wasted, you know?
Yeah.
So, because I used to get drunk real fast because I was little.
Pills and NyQuil. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah. But it seems like it should probably be on the list. You know?
Yeah. Well, it launched a lot of careers. It was huge.
Yeah.
We just don't know anything about it. Okay, good. All right, we discussed it. Take that, Canada. You know, they're so proud of their goddamn SCTV. Take that. Knock them down a bit.
No, I'm sorry. It's not our fault.
Oh, no. You're not.
What?
You're sorry. Tell them you're sorry.
I'm sorry, not sorry that you're America's hat.
Take that, America's hat.
Mm-hmm.
That's our chant when we protest there. When we protest Canada, that's our chant.
Take that, America's hat. Take that, America's hat. Take that, America. But someone made the point that we're Canada's Mexico.
Oh, yikes. Yeah, and that's probably true because, like, everybody wants to flee up into Canada for free healthcare and all that kind of stuff. And there's no Canadians coming down here.
Well, they come down here when they want to get their cheap drugs or whatever.
Oh, there's our super cheap drugs. The Canadians, they look at, like, you know, Prime Minister Trudeau and they go, oh God, I got to get out of here. And then they look at Trump and go, you know, we don't have it so bad. And then they stay. It's usually how it works.
They love Trudeau, dude. They think Trudeau is like a sex symbol.
Not all of them.
How many Canadians do you know?
A handful,
actually. Do they talk like this? Are they like, wah?
No, those are French Canadians. French Canadians talk like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, then fine.
Nobody likes French Canadians. That much we all know. I think we can all agree on that.
I'll take your word about it. I'd like to go to Quebec, Montreal.
One of those I don't remember if it was one of those I've heard from like 3 different places. People talk about, oh, they have the best strip clubs there. I think it's Montreal. Or maybe it's Montreal or Toronto. I don't know. But it's like, oh yeah, they have the best strip clubs.
I've heard Montreal has good strip clubs, and Toronto is just full of loose women. That's the word on the street.
Sounds about right. I also heard that
they don't have the same sort of, what do you call it, stigma against sex like we do in America. You know, it's just like what you do.
Yeah, you said sex and it made me all weird.
Made you feel weird.
Yeah, but you know what? I heard that made me feel weird in my pants area.
On your pee-pee?
I also heard that Atlanta has a lot of strip clubs. One for every day of the week.
Black ladies. I'm just saying, Atlanta, just between you and me, Atlanta, a lot of black ladies.
I don't see color. I couldn't tell you.
You may not see it, but you'll smell the cocoa butter, baby.
Well, isn't that every stripper?
No, sometimes just like baby oil and like wet farts.
Oh, those are the cokehead strippers. Yeah. A real stripper should have the coconut, like
coconut oil,
and whatever it is, the cocoa butter. All right, so we got 2 more on the list. Now that we've moved on through all that stuff, we got 2 on the list. I think we should just do all 3 as the final 3 because they're all kind of the same. Like these are the 3 that really matter. Like we just wasted everybody's time for how long have we been on?
I only see 2 left.
No, there's 3. Well, 2 left. It's already on the board.
You want to go all 3, huh?
Yes, okay. I just want to go 3. And by the way, you're welcome for wasting your time this whole time. We could have just done these 3 and been done with it.
Yeah, let's do it. Ready?
Okay. The remaining 2. Do you want to say them together? You ready? The remaining 2 are Monty. Go ahead.
No, because here's when we talk at the same time.
When we're saying, yeah,
it sounds terrible.
Monty Python. Saturday Night. Python. Go. Monty. Oh, I see what you're doing.
See, because if I talk at the same time as
Monty
you,
Python and Saturday Night Live versus In Living Color, it's gonna be great. There you go.
if we do stuff at the same time, the microphones don't pick it up.
Whose fault is that?
You're the one who moved to Washington. I stayed here.
Yeah.
So.
Because I wanted to be closer to Canada, and so I could watch SCTV, dick.
Well, okay.
Yeah, because I love John Candy more than you. That's all that matters.
Okay. Well, now that we've lost our entire audience, hopefully, we got to the good part. Hopefully, they'll come back or watch this on their own time.
Nobody's gonna do
that. But, dude, can we just take a second to talk about how Megan was trying to ask me to pick her up at the airport on our fucking podcast, on the vlog? Just to all the perps in general for future purposes, if you want me to pick you up from the airport, text me. And if you don't have my phone number, I'm not going to pick you up at the airport. And if you do have my phone number, I still want gas money and probably a burrito.
Why? You're a real
You had
dick.
a burrito?
No, just drive to the airport. Like, it's not that hard.
I mean, we're close to the airport.
You are close. Close to Orange County.
Yeah, she would pick her up at LAX to take her to a Carnival cruise ride. That seems like not the thing I should do.
That's not hard. You cruise up to 5.
Well, maybe she should fly to Walla Walla, Washington, and you can take her to some Alaskan cruise line so she can go see the Northern Lights. How about that?
Walla Walla's in Eastern Washington, and I don't drive because I'm blind, you dick.
Okay, well, that sounds like a step line problem.
But you know what? When I was young and when I did drive, I picked up everybody from the airport.
That you must have had a huge car. Wow.
10,000 people at a time. And dropped them off in various cities, yeah.
Well, you have like some kind of van. I just picked my nose on camera. And then I made mention of it. So if anyone missed it the first time, they, now they know to look back on it. Fucking now I feel like since they know, I should just dig in there and really get any residual because I already made a point of it.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Okay, I won't. Again.
All right. Hey, listen. Don't leave people in suspense. Are you going to pick Megan up at the airport or not?
Never.
Why?
No.
That's a dick move, bro.
Yeah. Just because, I have to make a stance on asking me for favors via podcast. This is not the forum for that.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Because I know it feels like we're doing really, really important work here. But I would say that perhaps it's a perfect forum to do so.
I would say you should talk about the shows so we can move on to the next show topic, which is amazing that I came up with and you don't know about.
What are the shows?
In Living Color, SNL, and
Color, Saturday Night Live, and Monty Python. All right, go.
Monty Python spawned movies that are amazing. Life of Brian, Holy Grail, which also became Spam-A-Lot on Broadway. What's the other one? The History of the World, Volume 1.
Wait, isn't that Mel Brooks?
What?
Wasn't History of the World, Volume 1, isn't that Mel Brooks?
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's not what I meant. What I meant was, what is it called? Meaning of Life.
Meaning of Life. Life of Brian.
And then there was one other one I'm missing that was really good. Holy Grail, we said. There was a fourth movie.
Alexa, what are the Monty Python movies? Let's ask our producer.
The film at Monty Python is someone that was majorly involved in his Monty Python's Life of Brian.
She said Life of Brian.
Okay, well, there was more than Life of Brian. I'll tell you, Terry Gilliam, who also became a director, he has a lot of great movies. 12 Monkeys, The Fisher King. Adventures of Baron Munchausen. He directed all of those. He came out of Monty Python. I don't know. Does he do the animation too? Or is that someone else? One of the
I
other
believe
guys?
that was another.
Eric Idle?
No, Eric Idle was an actor.
No, but I'm saying. He came out of it.
Oh.
And then, of course, Cleese. Was it George? What's his name?
John Cleese.
John Cleese. Fucking that guy, man. Hilarious.
John Cleese.
Yeah. Hilarious.
Graham Chapman.
Yeah, dude. There.
Who was the last one? Wait, am I missing a couple? Who did the
one? There are 5. Aren't there 5 main actors?
6 is the animation. Who did the animation? Oh, if there's anybody in the chat, put it in there. I don't remember.
No, they're just in the chat if they want me to give them a ride to the airport.
Too long. All right, yeah. Any of the Megans in the chat, go ahead and Google that shit and put it.
They're
in
gone now. We lost them. We lost them already.
How many Megans were in there? Holy shit! And they're all gone.
Dude. You need to get to the point. That's what happens.
Oh yes, that's
what it was. SNL, their highs are really high, hilarity. Their lows are terrible. That show probably should have gone off the air 10 or more times because when they are lows,
like the entire 80s.
Yeah, like when they're in their lows, their ruts, they were bad for like 2 to 3 year stretches. Like they probably had bad writers, you know? In Living Color, I want to say it had some bad seasons near the end. Like they started losing their main cast, and there's a point where they brought in like 3 people we probably don't remember. Like they had an Asian guy in the cast near the end that I don't know from anything else except that he was the Asian guy who was on A Living Color for a minute.
Don't even remember that.
Funny. It just wasn't as funny at the end. Well, we got cats meowing and shit. If I had to take one out of the 3, I would drop SNL.
You drop SNL out of the 3.
Yeah.
Well, here's what I would say about SNL is that SNL, I mean, it's been on for 40 years, but when it was good, if you think about the 90s, like when we were growing up, I mean, back when, everything was cool, back in the 90s, when all the cool kids were young and everybody's coming up, think about like the careers that spawned. I mean, you think back to like the 70s when it first started, Belushi and, Aykroyd and Chase and all that kind of stuff. And then, and then you look at the 80s, they had Eddie Murphy and, but then like the 90s, man, when we were, the formative years, they had Adam Sandler and Mike Myers and Dana Carvey and Chris Rock was in there for a little while, even though he didn't work out so well. And Chris Farley, I mean, for Christ's sake, David Spade, all those guys that, became huge megastars that created, that shaped comedy basically for a lot of years. And then, like, even in the 2000s, they had more. Will Ferrell. I mean, obviously, he was the biggest name. He was in there in the 90s, I guess, too. And then, I mean, so many others. Tina Fey and Amy Poehler became big off of SNL. Now they got Andy Samberg and Fred Armisen we mentioned earlier, and what's his name, Bill Hader, and it's a Kristen Wiig too.
Bill Murray. Andy Kaufman.
Is he on SNL?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
First year. Yeah. Huh. Fucking Chevy Chase, who's problematic now, or was probably problematic for a long time. But
he was the king of the 80s, though.
There's a lot of talent that went through SNL, for sure.
So, yeah, you got to think about that. Like I love Monty Python. Monty Python is very, very funny, but if you ever watch like Monty Python's Flying Circus, some things are still very funny. Some things are rather droll. Yeah. And they're for what they did. They were very experimental and off the wall, and pushed a lot of boundaries, like we said before. Did a lot of stuff, but as being funny, I don't know if as a whole. Is Monty Python funnier? But then SNL had its downtimes, like you said, too. Like the whole 80s were terrible. Early 2000s had some real bad stretches. Currently, not a huge fan.
I watch it. I watch it for the the satire, the political satire, and Weekend Update.
Weekend Update is funny. Yeah, Weekend Update's always funny. But see, that's not even a sketch. That's not a sketch. That's topical humor. That's topical jokes. Joke.
It's satire news.
Yeah. And it's funny to get Alec Baldwin up there in the Trump wig and have him go, "Oh, I'm Trump. Oh, look at me. I'm dumb and I have tiny hands." All right, I get it. But, is that...
Make a decision. Cut one out.
Oh, cut one out? I don't want to cut one out.
I would say, well, do you want to leave this up to the perps as well?
No, I'd say Monty Python, probably. Because, yeah.
I agree.
They were influential, but,
Okay, no, Monty Python, what I liked more about them was their movie career than Flying Circus. But we're doing the greatest sketch comedy show of all time.
That's true. That's very good point. So SNL or In Living Color is what it comes down to.
Not what they spawned, although we should take that into consideration. These shows spawned whoever as talent.
Yeah.
And we've already talked about that ad nauseum for both In Living Color and SNL, a shitload of people. Yeah. Now let's talk about the shows. Which was a better sketch comedy show? I would say In Living Color was better because it had the benefit of going second. So they could look at SNL, see the formula that worked, and then become an edgier version of it. I think it was on Fox, when they're trying to be the bad boys of TV, of network television. They were West Coast. They were a little more hip hop, a little bit more urban and edgy. All of that, So you had that whole feel to it in the sketch comedy format, where SNL was trying to be more polished. So the question is, it just comes out, and it's subjective. I don't think there is a real definitive answer. It just comes down to taste. But to me, In Living Color was it's hard to even say it was more diverse because they had two white people, Jim Carrey and that lady. I don't remember her name. With the curly what is it?
The girl, I don't, yeah.
The curly red hair.
Too long. I used to know, I don't remember anymore.
But it was fine. Like the whole thing is we didn't need a ton of white people because you already had that show. That's what SNL was. This was the...
We're playing white people on SNL and SCTV for that matter, and everywhere else for that matter.
All of it. So they were like, here's a predominantly black sketch comedy show, and it was hilarious. I think I laughed harder at In Living Color, but I laughed more often in the run of SNL.
It's hard for me because SNL has become not so great. And I think part of its problem is that it's been on for 40 years. It's hard to keep it fresh when you've been on for 40 years. It's, it's kind of the same kind of thing. And although it's, it's sketch, it's what it is. They've had some epic characters and sketches. More Cowbell is, part of the lexicon now. And, it's, everybody knows that one. The church lady, there have been movies made out of the characters. Wayne's World was the characters in the sketches. Gruber was one of the newer ones that wasn't very good, but it was one of the sketches. The Ladies' Man with Tim Meadows. I love Tim Meadows. A lot of crazy stuff, man. A lot of crazy, weird characters that came out of there, but I lean towards In Living Color as well. Just because I like In Living Color.
I would agree. I lean towards In Living Color too.
There it is. That was it. That one. Do you feel like we got there appropriately, or do you think like it took too long?
It took way too long.
We probably should have just done the top 3. Not wasted everybody's time. We're going to do a second one? Am I supposed to end this one? Thank you, everybody, for tuning into the Perpendicular Mouse. We'll see you next time. Perpendicular Mouse.